Oh, righty. Let me get set up here. Ooh, hair looking very bad right now. Hello, everybody. Or everyone. Literally one. It's going to be a slow, weird day today. I'm just having some coffee and about to open up an individually wrapped donut from the convenience store. But it's going to be kind of a weird day because I have not been able to get to converting stuff for a while. I've been so busy. What with the pregnant wife and the new job and the just everything, running the play-by-post games. So I got a cup of coffee. I got my my old-fashioned donut. And we're going to take it easy today because I have a bunch of stuff to fix in the second adventure conversion. Should have taken a bite and then tried to explain things. Hold on. Coffee and donuts. All right. So, as somebody in the YouTube comments noted, you could just make another set of boggards for the attack on the manor in the second adventure, which we did. We did that on stream, like 2 streams ago. But then, I never actually got around to fixing up any of the encounters. I feel like my video might be lagging a little bit. Uh-oh. Alright, well, that's a problem for later. So let me just bring it over here. Let's take a look here. That's not what I want. I want to do. There we go. All right. So over here we've got our rough file from the second adventure. Have we started? I mean, we did start the third. It's been a while. Ugh, I feel really bad. I'm usually fairly punctual, and I'm very big on stability in terms of things. That's not what I'm looking for. The right word is punctual. Anyway, I like to have a consistent, there we go, schedule. But my own life has been kind of crazy. My new job has some strange hours, which I may have mentioned. I get home around 10 o'clock at night, and I have off on Thursdays and Mondays, which is an odd time. And right now my wife is home on maternity leave, so I will be seeing her a lot and taking care of her, mostly because it's not that mobility is a big issue or anything, but I want to take care of her. So, okay. So a lot of my free time for getting this conversion cleaned up, it's kind of gone down a little bit. But I'm going to talk about one of these problems that I ran into that was like, I just learned the concept of the Milanese knot from George R.R. Martin, in which it took him a really long time to write one of his books, the Song of Fire and Ice, Song of Ice and Fire, whatever. Because he had written himself into this weird corner in marine, and he couldn't figure out how to like untangle it, so he called it the Milanese knot. And for me, I'm just going to use that whenever I get to like a problem that is giving me more trouble than it should. So I'm going to go over to here. And it's the Worm's Revenge, which is in the second adventure. Here we go. Worm's Revenge. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. The players are walking down a hill. Everything's going great. They're going through the Wormfall Festival. And a float loses control and starts careening down the hill and slams into a tavern and explodes. This seemed, to me, like the easiest thing to solve. We'll make it a hazard, and it'll be a complex hazard. And at first, the reaction is hitting the players, and then this tavern sets on fire, and then the players take fire damage per round, and people start dying. And I kind of realized that this is not portrayed as a hazard in third edition, and I'm not saying it shouldn't become a hazard. We've definitely taken things that were not hazards and turned them into hazards because it works out mechanically that way. So what I did was much easier. So first off, this was such a problem to solve. Come here. Okay. During the height of the celebration, we've changed the wording to a float wagon heading downhill wearing a huge humanoid form, blah, 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 blah. Each of the players makes a secret DC 15 perception check. Okay? It's very low. I believe it's actually a very easy check. I believe the DC at level 4 or 5 should be 20. So very easy, -5. And everyone's going to be either trained or expert at this point. I love a good old-fashioned. So players are going to be sitting around, like between, at absolute worst, like a +7 to a +13. Okay? Very easy to get a success. Okay? Which is what we want. Okay? We want to use the critical success as the, there's a chance to get this. So, on a critical success, shouts of alarm alert them to trouble, giving them 2 rounds to react to the hazard. On a success, they only get 1 round. Now, this means everybody in the party is likely going to get a chance to react to the hazard. Your reaction is either, I'm going to attempt to disable it, or I'm attempt to get out of its way. Which is essentially what it's like here. Okay? DC 15, you get 2 rounds to react. You get a DC 15 listen check, then you have 3 rounds to react. Then a DC 15 spot check, then you have 2 rounds to react. And you get 1 round to react in 3.5. However, this is much more different. You can halt this process making a DC 25 strength check. I would like to point out how strength checks worked in 3.5. You take your strength attribute bonus, that ability bonus, then you add that to a D20. Okay? I know what you may be thinking. Well, Azzur, at level 5, surely that must be... No. On average, you'll have a +5, perhaps. We've gotten some magic items at this point. You could have a +6. Okay. So now if you get a 19 or a 20, you stop the float by grabbing it. Okay. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. The other options are if you create an obstruction of at least 1,000 pounds, which is some weird GM logic there. But it says by toppling some barrels with a DC 20 strength check. Lower, but the same check. And maybe just like if players knew to do this. And then straight up just like, if you cast a spell. Web, shatter, soften earth and stone. Easy. All of these like solutions are odd. And I left this one out mostly because mechanically it's odd. If the players warn the revelers in the tavern, 1d8 of the 20 in the tavern can escape out of the float's path each round. Here's what I did. My Mirror is not. What the hell to do with the people in the tavern? And then I just realized, what do we do with knots? Like Gordian knots, so to speak? You Alexander the Great that, and you slice them in half, and you cut away the excess that you don't need. And this idea of like counting citizens and revelers in the tavern, just, we're done with it. It's silly. We're changing it. Okay? Because it's excessive. It's excessive bookkeeping, and it's taking away from the fun, in my mind. And I recognize this is a conversion. It's not like a remaster, but there are a few things I got to put my foot down on, and it's just, they're getting ridiculous. So what we've done. Oh, that's not what I want. So the players get their either up to two rounds to react, either to try and disable it or get out of the way, and then we pose it as a simple hazard. Okay. Simple hazard, very easy. DC 20 athletics to grab hold of the float and bring it to a halt, or DC 22 to erect some barricades, crafting to erect some barricades to load vehicles, or spells like web or shatter to disable the vehicle from moving and count as a success. So, spells are still there to slow it down, still have it. 2 successes are required to bring it to a full stop. This feels a little bit more interesting to me, okay? Now, you have a situation where things can get weird. Greg, the wizard over here, failed his perception check. He didn't see this thing coming. He doesn't even get to react. He is going to get hit by this float. The fighter, boom, got a success. 1 round to react. The cleric, critical success. Thank you, high wisdom. And has 2 rounds to react. And let's say the rogue over there has a success. So now, between you have 4 chances to disable this thing. Okay? You can't use that wizard. Wizard's got nothing to do. Now, the question becomes, you know what? Do we just get out of the way? This thing's dangerous. I don't want to deal with it. Because all it is a reflex save against 5d12 bludgeoning damage, which is about the average amount of damage for a simple hazard, a simple level 5 hazard. But still, it's pretty deadly. And importantly, it's going to cost us some time to heal up those wounds. Okay. So I like that as choices suddenly come up quickly for players. Okay. Now here's the next part. That this was the next part of the knot that was very difficult for me. Assume all the players are in the way, blah, 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 blah. 3 to 6 points of damage. Damage was very different in 3.5, and we'll talk about that. Or we have talked about that. We can just heal that up in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. All it costs us is time. A little bit harder in 3.5. It just costs you resources, which don't come back. Anyway, this then slams into a nearby tavern. This is where it gets some 3.5 silliness. Anyone still in the tavern at this time takes 3d6 points of damage. Each reveler has only 5 hit points, so it can result in several deaths. I mean, the average of 3d6 is 3.5, like 10.5 damage. Very, very, very good odds that, like, first off, there's 20 people in there, and the GM is going to roll 3d6 points of damage for everybody. Is it because it says this may well result in several deaths if the PCs aren't quick? You're not going to roll it once and apply it across the board to all 20. That really isn't fair for how this encounter is designed. So you'd have to roll it individually to make it fair, which is a really weird amount of time to spend on background NPCs, things happening that the players aren't involved in, which isn't fun. It was fun for stakes back in 3.5, but the stakes sort of remain the same if you take that out. In that, a fire starts. And this is important. Fire starts and spreads quickly. The fire is contained by a bucket brigade before it spreads to neighboring buildings, but the tavern itself burns down. The players, however, can organize a bucket brigade faster with a DC 20 diplomacy check, or use magic to aid in putting out the flames. If cast on the first round, a gust of flame extinguishes the fire, but after this, the wind only fans the flames. Okay. More like little micro nuance to these games that is just... I hate to be that guy, because I know there are people with every new edition are like, you're slimming down and dumbing down the game we love. But from a GM point of view, remembering, okay, first round of combat, or first round of the 3 rounds of the tavern burning, I'm rolling damage across the board for the 20 revelers within that I guess survived. No. The 20 revelers within. It's the first round, and the player casts Gust of Wind. Okay, that's fine. It solved the problem. But then in the second round, let's say he didn't cast it on the first round, he cast it on the second round. Oh, it fans the flames, so it does nothing. Okay. There's a lot of weird nuance there, and I think that could be fun. But it feels like, to me, this feels like I had written this adventure for my friends, and we start playing, and they said something I didn't expect, and I went, oh, yeah. That would absolutely put out the fire. And then someone's like, actually, I think it would only fan the flames. You might be like, okay, well, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this. And at the table with your friends who are into it, that's fun. But, like, for general consumption, it's weird. So what I did, I'm not attaching you all to my insanity. If the float is not disabled, after any of the players, it slams into the tavern with a tremendous explosion, furniture, blah, 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 blah. Fire spreads, chance of saving any patrons drops precipitously. Just cutting out 20 citizens, the countdown, the damage being dealt to them, because the worst has happened, and saving people is important, yes. The players can organize a group faster with their diplomacy check, same DC, because that's what we're going for. And magic can also aid in putting out the flames. The wind effects only seem to fan the fire to greater heights, so you can use magic to put out the flames. I'm leaving that to GM Fiat, okay? I like to cast Ray of Frost. The GM, if I'm the GM, I'm going to that's not going to be enough, you know? Or maybe I'll make an Arcana check, okay? But it's getting into GM Fiat territory already, and I'm trying to stay away as much as possible. And just pretty much saying, wind effects aren't going to work, okay? If you've got gust of wind, that ain't going to work. I do believe that cantrips were also much more limited in 3.5, and I forget how. Oh, monster. I ate all the chocolate first. I don't know why. And then, if the players manage to put out the fire, I've added in the tavern owner hands over a treasure. If they manage to stop the float before it crashes, the tavern owner gives them that and another treasure. Okay? So that way I like to reward mechanical things, and I've talked about this before. What I should say is, everybody does. In the original, you'd get an experience reward. But experience systems are kind of going the way of the dinosaur. I keep saying the way of the dinosaur. I also think this is insane. If the cart crashes where the players save at least 15 of the revelers before and save the tavern from burning down. Okay. There is this. It's all very odd and finicky. So, here's what I've done. If the players stop the float before it crashes, award them experiences normal for a level 5 simple hazard. If the cart crashes and they still manage to stop the tavern from burning down, give them XP as they've overcome a level 3 simple hazard. Small problem, and I quickly note this, probably just change this very easily. Simple hazard experience is incredibly low. It's literally a difference of 6 experience between a level 5 and a level 3. And 6 experience is unless you're playing in Pathfinder Society, it's nothing. And trust me, if you're not playing in Pathfinder Society and you're suddenly thinking, ooh, I can just... It's another story. They use a different experience system. 12 experience to level up, but 4 experience for an entire adventure, so... Anyway. Small side note for anybody in my Pathfinder Society games. Woohoo! We're on to the, what I'm just calling the middle third of the meta plot. Yes. Bad news. We need to level up some people on the server to get to level 3. So I'm searching through for some good PFS scenarios to get some people up to level. He says while running Strength of Thousands, Follow Plaguestone, Fist of the Ruby Phoenix, Dark Archive. Anything else I'm running? I feel like there's more. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Let's see. Strength of Thousands, Dark Archive, Fist of the Phoenix, Follow Plaguestone. Yeah. So I am running 4 very large-scale games. And I'm trying to run 4 Pathfinder Society scenarios at the same time. This is how I speak before the coffee. My God. Okay. Now, a few other things. I changed the stilts, because the stilts are very dumb. Stilts are I know this entire AP is like the perfect example of why 3.5 was so much fun and so fucking broken. Here's another good example. Okay? Stilts. With a DC 10 balance check, character can move at their normal speed while wearing stilts. It doesn't say what happens if you don't get the DC 10 balance check, but okay. Oh no, here we go, sorry. Failure by 5 or more indicates a fall for 1d6 damage. I assume if you fail by 5 or less, or 4 or less, you just move at half speed? Or character on stilts can move through crowds with ease. No literal mechanical benefit. I believe I could actually probably look it up. Maybe in the Game Master, Dungeon Master's guide, there was a crowds effect. Generally, look at this. And generally gains a +1 bonus on attack rolls with melee weapons against large or smaller creatures due to the advantage of higher ground. I have had so many players reference to me higher ground attacks, but I really don't recall seeing it in a book somewhere. I could be wrong. It's come up and it's not come up. I've definitely found the rule and I've definitely not found the rule. It's insane. The Stiltwalker generally needs reach weapons to target medium creatures. Okay. Getting weird. Okay, you've got a lot to do. You've got to be balancing on these things to get a +1 attack bonus with melee weapons against large or smaller creatures, which is, from a Munchkin min-maxer point of view, awesome. Of course my fighter's going into battle with his spear and a set of stilts. I got a +1 bonus. And you think those players don't exist? I had them. So my players were showing up on Savage on the Isle of Dread with freaking stilts on. Time to go fight some Tyrannosaurus Rexes. You know they're huge, right? The stilts aren't going to help anymore. But as a GM, I have to micromanage all those little numbers, so that's annoying. Getting a little more complicated, a foe can attempt to sunder a stilt as if it were a weapon. We've hit a Pathfinder problem. Sundering doesn't exist. As a matter of fact, while we do have some rules for breaking weapons and armors and unattended objects, they're not really great and they're not super codified. So, alright, a little tricky. And each time they're struck, the Stiltwalker must make a DC 12 balance check to avoid a fall. Okay. If the stilt is destroyed, which, if you can note, hardness 5 and 10 hit points, it's very easy to do that. The Stiltwalker automatically falls. Get a -5 on Bull Rush, Overrun, and Trip attempts. But you may substitute your balance check and place your normal check to resist the attack if you wish. All of this is insane. This is all madness. In the heat of battle, you have to remember this stuff in these little edge cases that come up more frequently than you think. It's an insane thing to apply to a singular encounter, much less a string of them, especially if your players decide we're going to start walking around on stilts. Obviously, it's a mechanically bad strategy to wander around on stilts and stab at people. They could just break your stilts and make you look like an idiot. It's not to say players didn't do it. So, what do? More donut time. Huh. Okay. Okay. First off, we codified the crowd thing. Character on stilts is unaffected by difficult terrain or greater difficult terrain caused by crowds. Good. However, due to the height difference, their reach is treated as 5 feet shorter when attacking medium-sized creatures, often requiring Stiltwalkers to employ reach or ranged weapons. Codified. We codified, so we're not doing generally you need this. So the player's not technically that guy I'm fighting is 7 feet tall, and my sword could reach down. No. This is what it is. Okay? We just got rid of the sundering. Just got rid of it. I hate to say it. I'll note it here. While on stilts, The character takes a -2 circumstance penalty to their fortitude and reflex DCs versus shove and trip. Clean. We turned it into 1, 2, 3 sentences. Okay? Clean, mechanical. Okay? This does make it the only benefit you get from this is you're unaffected by difficult terrain or greater difficult terrain caused by crowds, which comes up very infrequently. But I'd love to see that encounter where the players are like, all right, my God, the one thing I probably should include is how long it takes to put these on. Like 1 minute. I've worn stilts before. I did some stilt walking. And it does take you can get them on pretty quickly. It's just getting somewhere high enough, or I knew people that would put it on the ground, but I always got on it like stairs. Anyway, this is kind of what I'm saying. I'm going to just also note here, and I'm going to put it in caps so I don't forget later. Let me just put it in red. Just put it in red so I don't forget. How long does it take to put on stilts? Okay? I won't note that because I feel like it's going to come up. Mechanically, it's going to come up. All it's going to take one player to be like, I'll put on the stilts as an action. I don't see that it's going to be there, but as a kindness, I'm going to put the stilts on as an action and avoid the difficult terrain caused by the crowd. Okay. You may notice that this clean copy, at 18 pages long, still ain't done. No! Yeah, I've messed up. I have not been able to get to this. It's really a pain for me. I'm so sorry. So, let's do some cleanup work today. See how much I can get done. My family is currently out. They're hanging out at a water park today because the Japanese summer, oh my God, it's dreadful. Japanese summer is really bad. Real quick thing. I mentioned doing this back when I did the second adventure, and I wanted to remake the stakes of going through the festival. Essentially, opens with a society check, setting the base amount of time it takes to reach the manor, either a society DC or a Sasserine lore DC. On a critical success, it only takes 10 minutes to reach the manor. Whoops. I did not really proof this too well. But yes, success, 20 minutes to get to the manor, 30 minutes to get to the manor, 30 minutes, and fatigued. Ooh, very nasty on a critical failure. Okay? Here's the thing. Generally, all this is doing is the players should arrive between 30 to 40 minutes. Nothing changes. But if they critically succeed, if they succeed and they don't like stop to treat wounds, they don't stop to do a lot of other things, like these encounters are kind of encouraging. Like if you'll notice, I don't have to include dealing with the runaway float takes 5 minutes of time or anything, because the system itself, baked in the mechanics of the system, is the math for that. Yeah, the players, they might be like, we gotta rush over to Vanderborn Manor. We can't take 10 minutes to treat wounds. We can't take 10 minutes to refocus after a fight. We can't take any of this time, which makes for more interesting gameplay decisions, I think. So, that said, we now have this is left over. I was playing with hours for a while, and I went against it. Mostly because within the system, 10 minutes is a much better system, unit of measurement. All right, cool. That's Wormfall Festival in a nutshell. Now, we should be getting to... Here we go. I'm not making a third encounter. We've got 3. All of which you can take some damage in, all of which will bring in the treat wounds, the refocus, all that good stuff. What 5th edition ostensibly calls the short rest. And it's essentially how everyone treats it in Pathfinder 2nd edition. We're going to rest up here real fast, take 10 minutes. It's fun to me how taking 10 has changed hands between the editions. I'm going to take 10 and try and find quickly find all the treasure in this room. I'm gonna take 10 and fucking relax. Alright. Done with the coffee. Moving on to the water. Alright, yeah. Got all this stuff. Kalani's Killers. Need stats for Stiltwalkers. We did that. Cool. Likewise, rules for Stilts. Did it. Boom. Nailed it. Oh, did we made Stiltwalkers? We made Stiltwalkers, didn't we? Let's take a look. Uh-oh. Here's Diamondback. Did I not make Stiltwalkers? No, we definitely did. I remember. Where are they? Somebody help me. Oh, God. Oh, just got to go down a little bit. Stiltwalker. That's embarrassing. Yes. Professional juggling. These guys can constantly juggle and throw things. So essentially they're always considered that they have a knife or bomb in their hands, which makes them not super powerful, but it makes them better ranged throwing combatants. Did I give them anything that helps with... No. I think I toyed around with the idea of giving them... Ooh. There is one small thing, which is small technical wording on stilts. Technical wording on this stilts, as dumb as it is that their reach is lowered by 5. So they need a reach weapon to hit anybody next to them. So kicking somebody with their stilt technically needs the reach ability on it. Like, that's a really... I just realized I made a mess with those rules. I'm going to ignore that. Okay, I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. We'll leave that for later. I don't care too much. We've got the Stiltwalkers. Let's put them in. Let's take a look where I need to put them in. Any rules I need to put in? Boo, 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 boo. Sense motive check to notice the acrobatic troop. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I like that. Well, what I should say is I do like that. Make a secret Boy, we're making a lot of secret perception checks here right now. I don't even think I noted this in the original copy, did I? Did I? No, look at that. That's embarrassing. Crowd rolls for combat. What? What is this? Oh, yeah. I'll get to that. That's on the next page. Okay. So here's what we got to do. Still page 31. Oh my God, page 31 has so much stuff to it. All right. First, let's get this back to black. Oh no. Here. I am... Copy this. All right. What's the exact wording here? As they approach the PCs, allow them... Okay. We're changing this. Here we go. All right. I realized I don't think I've done cleanup work on the stream before. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3. All right. Second column, third paragraph. Second, column. I think I was trying to do this in the very beginning, and I realized like it was going to take too long. And I'm just, Well, you can see these little these fun approaches that the PDF version makes to keep all the formatting nice and still make it editable and copyable and all that good stuff. Woo. Okay. But yeah, it was going to take too much time on stream, so I'm hoping that I will still be able to be entertaining and interesting to listen to. And no offense to anybody watching the stream, I trust the YouTube people to say if this is still interesting, because these are the people that are somehow, and I love you guys, still somehow watching 3 to 4 hour long videos of me talking and going like, ha, insightful, and like very, very nicely commenting. And not to be one of those YouTubers, but seriously, leave me comments. I love talking to you guys. We got the really cool dude from Jersey, hey, who's been talking to me. That the other design fellow out there who's been making a lot of good comments. I love all of you. And oh my God, we had a one of the players from Pandemonium Sage's Sorrow Wraiths game comment, which was awesome. That was really cool to have that little connection. Anyway, just went into a rant. All right, so we're going to change this to as they approach the PCs, allow, make a secret. And this is important. Sense motive is a secret check. It is a secret check. I shouldn't have to say, make a secret sense motive check, because that's like saying the ATM machine. Okay? A secret sense motive check. It's already secret. I don't need to say it. However, I say it for other GMs because reading these modules sometimes, these nested kind of like traits, trip people up all the time. So especially towards the very, opening licks of an adventure, I really like to hammer home, like, you should know what to do here. But make a secret, make a secret sense motive check. Secret. I want to go off of their bluff. I want to go off of their bluff or their deception. Whoa. Their deception is 6. What's Diamondback got? None. Okay. So we're going to go 16. I think it's entirely fair. Play the game by the rules. Okay? 20 is where it should be in terms of assuming players are level, I believe that they should be level 5 here. No, they're level 4 here. Well, this is a level 5 simple hazard. That's kind of where my brain went. They're level 4 here. So, level 4 DC, just to double check. DCs by level-based DCs. Here we go. 19. I was close. Good on me for memorizing all this stuff like a weirdo. So, 19, it's essentially an easy check to notice. Secret sense motive check to notice that the Stiltwalkers are behaving oddly. Okay. What I want that to be... Oh, Lord. I was going to say, this means that the Stiltwalkers don't use their deception for initiative, but they wouldn't. They'd just be using their perception anyway. So instead, we'll just say is PCs. As a person, notice that still or as a have each character make a DC 16 sense motive check. Notice that still original. Each PC who succeeds gains a +2. Very important. Very important for me to note a +2, not a +1. It's because scouting. I want to make sure. Oh, there's so many scouts. Yes, circumstance. Yeah, if someone's already scouting, they're already on edge, +2. This should just override that, and that's all. Circumstance. Bonus to the initiative check. There. Okay? Surprise round. Take them away. Funny story. When I did the playtest for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I, like many, read the rulebook. But you don't, retain all of that knowledge. And so the playtest began. I think we're... one of the first rooms is a room filled with goblins after an ooze in the playtest. And I just ran surprise rounds like 1st edition Pathfinder. And they were deadly. You put a surprise round back into Pathfinder 2nd edition, and it's incredibly deadly. It just means that one turn has so much more impact than first edition ever did, which is interesting. Given that time stop existed in first edition and still is just like, I was never really bothered when a player did time stop on my big bad. I'm going to time stop and buff up. Oh, okay, good job, buddy. You should just do this before. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to time stop and delay blast fireball. Whoa, ooh, we got a badass over here. Anyway, he resists all of that because he's the bad guy that I made. Anyway. Sorry. Small aside of me dealing with a player that just ran over a game. Okay. Easy. Diamondback. Ta-ta-ta-ta. Alright. No, don't want that. We want this. Replace. Diamondback. Whoa. With the following stat block. I'm so happy to be like... I have been trying so hard to find time to do this. And I'm so sorry that I'm doing it on stream, actually. Let's see. Here we go. Our NPCs. Did I not? I didn't. Of course I didn't. Let me go over and fix this. Actually, you know what? Join me. So you guys can see all the madness of what I've got going on in my personal work. All right. There. That way, if anyone's in the Fall of Plaguestone game, they know what they're about to get into. These are my... What's this? Hope it's nothing bad. Yes. These are my play-by-post maps. I think I've shown them off, but they are just... so much effort goes into these. And then I just, quickly edit and clean up, and they're gone. So if anyone... By the way, if anyone on YouTube people, commenters, are interested in joining us for a game of Pathfinder and are all right with posting once or twice a week, or if you're a Slozar or a Tomb and you post every single day, A-okay. We've got games aplenty. These are just my games. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Let me get open the giant mess that I've made. Unedited mess. Here we go. I know I've got Savage Abilities. No. Diamondback. I knew I had her saved somewhere. Unless she's... Make sure. I feel like I've changed Dance of Reckless Bravery. I think I have, but I think I did that on stream because it was really cool. Let me real quick check that. I want to compare. Make sure you guys are that I'm putting in the right version. Yep. Looks good. Looks good. Okay, great. Here's what I do. I go in. Crop out this screenshot. Oh, Diamondback. I think this is actually going to be one heck of a cool encounter. Save that into my drafts. This is my behind the scenes stream today. That's what this is. So thank you for joining me for it. All right. Let's get this back to where it should be. All right. Change this over to Diamondback. Boom. All right. And we're back. Okay, so this is it's like watching the singular hamster that powers my brain try and stream. Now we will insert Diamondback right into the file. Ta-da! Look at all this effort that I put into this. I was talking with somebody the other day. I'm the new guy at work, despite the fact that I was somewhat asked to come in and overhaul the whole place. And I said to him, what sort of projects do you have? I feel like everybody has a project, a passion project they work on. And he said, I got to be honest, in the last 20 to 30 years of my life, I don't think I've done anything. And it floored me. And I've met people that are I don't really have a project. But the idea of you just don't have any interest in making something or doing something that's interesting to you, was oh. And I was well, yeah, I'm working on this conversion of an old role-playing game. And he went through and he started looking. He went, well, why do you do this? Like, this seems like you're putting a lot of effort into, I don't know, something that people aren't interested in. And I was like, yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I don't think I care about the people watching. No offense. I love you all. Nor do I care about, like, the end product or the process, really. It's nice having a project to work on that it's sort of like practice and exercise, and it's strange to have a lot of game knowledge and not do anything with it. And this feels like, in the very least, I'm kind of categorizing it and like collecting it all somewhere. And the off chance that someone's interested in it and they use this is very cool to me. It's very fun. I don't think, I'll be honest, I don't think anyone's going to be like, thank God that Azzur is out here making the Savage Tide conversion. I mean, it's resonated with a few people, clearly. Thank you. But I'm not thinking that it's going to take the world by storm. Everyone has this idea that everything has to, I don't know, be marketable, must be a brand, must be loved by millions to be a success, when it could just be a fun thing that you do. I don't know. And I bring that up because this is one of the things where it's like, so you go on one program and you make all of these stats, and then you go into another program, edit it out, and why couldn't you just direct people to the other program? Well, it's because I want it to be nice and clean in one spot for somebody, anybody, to use. Okay. That was my rant. All right, that's done for page 31. On to page 32. Still going to love this artwork. Every time I see this artwork, I see something new. I mean, we've got, is this a pirate here in the background? A very massive giant woman. I caught the ogre over here last time. I thought was kind of interesting. At least the ogre looking guy. Somebody just had so much fun drawing this. You didn't have to put this detail into Sasserine. We didn't need to know that there's like coiled serpents at the end of the, like, we matched them up. I learned this. The artist. Let me make sure. Whoa, too far. Silly me. The artist. Yes, Wooten. Ben Wooten. All right, check this out. All right. First off, very glad to see. First off, no NFTs, no AI. Awesome. New Zealand. They were the Peter Jackson King Kong artist. Yes. And Lord of the Rings. Yes, they did. They were the concept artist for King Kong. Illustrator for Wrinkle in Time. I don't know. I mean, this also shocked me. I didn't know that. Illustrator, storyboard artist. Neon Genesis Evangelion conceptual artist. Okay, 1995. What? So yeah, Ben Wooten, who has been doing all of this very lovely. I don't think I'm saying this now. Yeah, this does look like a Wooten. It could be the other fellow. This is all him, I believe. Wooten. I'm looking for his signature. No, they don't put that. So yeah, we have truly little bits of history here. This is a Wooten for sure. I know this to be Wooten. Wooten-esque. Anyway, all right, come on. Get back on track, me. No. I just thought that was cool. Like, I don't want to say, wow, what a small world, but there is this bit of like, all of these little bits of nerd culture and things that we like intersect in fun ways, and that makes me happy. Okay. Sorry, Ben Wooten, go away. Had enough of you. King Kong special effects guy. Yeah, one of the reasons they actually tapped him, if you saw, King Kong came out in 2007, Savage Tide started in 2006, and Wooten was pitching a bunch of concept art to Peter Jackson, and it's all kind of this, well, the Isle of Dread was inspired by the Kong Island, the original Kong Island. So it became like this cyclical thing where they were like, "Oh my God, we love your artwork here because it reminds us of the Isle of Dread." Oh yeah, well I'm doing it for the King Kong movie. Oh my God, we got to get you in, and you got to do the artwork for Savage Tide. Ta-da! So cool, so cool. All right, let me shut up for a second. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to crop out some Stiltwalkers that I had saved from before. I'm not going to go back and do the adding reach to the this kick can. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave that up to GMs to just be smart about. And I know that's asking a lot of GMs sometimes because I'll be honest. I've been on the Paizo forums, and those people are insane. Yeah, arrows can hit ghosts, but swords cannot. I mean, that's where the Paizo forums are, or I don't understand what's going on with them. All right. Okay. Now we got to get to page. How do I this is my one thing where someone's like, you might be on the spectrum, but you're so very particular about dumb things. That's no slight to anybody on the spectrum, by the way, where it's just, but I feel like I've got hang-ups, and when it comes to formatting, I'm very, very particular about them. Which is one of the reasons why I stopped coding, because I wanted everything to be nice and clean and organized, and that's impossible in coding. All right. Replace Stiltwalker. I think they just called them Stiltwalker. Stiltwalkers. 6. How many? I wrote this down. How many Stiltwalkers do we need? 4. Okay. Following stat block. I noted how to do this in another, I think in book 1. I can look this up later. Again, I'm gonna have to go back and clean up the cleanup if I want to do something very nice. Here's our Stiltwalker. How did I note this? I think I'm just gonna do another Let's see. There are 4 Stiltwalkers. There. I'm going to make this red so I can come back later and check how I want to do that. Not that it's really matters, but that's how I am. Okay. No, I shouldn't say it really matters. It absolutely matters that there's 4. You don't put 6 of these guys in with level 4 monk. All right. Whew. So here's page 32. Anything else? Yeah, that's right. See, we did this on the stream where I was just like, make rules for this. I didn't. I gotta actually when I clean up, I do the actual rules. So let's take a look. See. Look at that. I didn't even separate the pages out. Silly me. All right. The attack works like a charm. Diamondback. I have to change the tactics. Because the drinks are potions. All right. Change tactics. I have to change this, and that I'll finesse that into something nicer later. I might just leave it at that because I want to for 2d4 rounds, panicked crowds filled a square. I loved that when I was in 3.5 because every game's going to be different, but at the same time, I only played one game. I didn't run Savage Tide for 5 different tables, so. Like we have in Pathfinder 2nd, we just baseline everything. For 1 minute, panicked crowds fill the square. Oh, that's easy. Why don't I just write that? Yeah, that's fine. That's it. That's all I have to do. I think I had said that I wanted them to do damage, but I don't care about that. The crowd. I'm curious actually. Crowd. Look at that. No, this is the archetype stuff, isn't it? Yeah, this is. Oh, here we go. Rules for crowds. Great. Yeah, I don't think I want to make a greater difficult terrain. That's a real pain. Look at this. Oh, Lion Blade. This is I really love the World Guide stuff that came out. This is very thematic, but everybody bashed them when they came out. And I kind of get it. Because you get to like treat all squares occupied by a crowd as if they're occupied by an ally within a reach of 5 feet. Very specific. I'm going to spend a class feat, a level 6 class feat on that? No. Like, but what I love is it gave us a baseline that we could then add stuff to later, which we... No, the Lion Blade didn't... Oh, Lion Blade, we didn't get anything new, did we? I was thinking of the one that's in Holy Zantamba. No, not Holy Zantamba. Volcanoes, folks. Anyway, getting into weird spots with this thought process. Yeah. For the following 2D found, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to just change following 2d4 rounds. Easy change. I'm going to count this as 1, 2, 3, fourth paragraph. It's not perfect, but, you know. First column, fourth paragraph, change 2d4 rounds to 1 minute. Easy, easy, easy. I don't want to do this. For the following 1 minute. For the following minute. And I don't think I need to change anything else there. For the following minute, panicked crowds fill the square. Still warriors move the crowd with ease, but all other characters treat movement through the crowd as difficult terrain. Nice. Boom, 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 boom. 4 hit points. I'm curious if I need to change this. Let's take a look. Diamondback has 60 hit points. Here she's got 60. Here she's got 25. Okay, we've essentially doubled that. These guys, who have only 8. I don't think they probably have about 20? 30. I'm going to say reduced to half. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Yeah, let's look at this wording again. The attack works like a charm, blah, blah, blah. As soon as a rogue or Diamondback is brought below 4 hit points, he or she attempts it. I'm going to... Because I don't want Diamondback to be the one fleeing after she eats 1 hit from the fighter. I'm just going to say... I'm going to change this whole thing here. I'm going to change it. All right. First column. 5th paragraph. I know this is like the most exciting stream. I do believe that the Pathfinder category has about 50 people streaming globally. And of those of those 50, I am one. And my stream is high octane action all the time. First column, 5th paragraph. Change. Why am I not more popular? Change as soon as a rogue or Diamondback is brought... Okay. As soon as a rogue or Diamondback is brought below 4 hit points. Yeah. As a rogue or Diamondback is brought below 4 hit points. 2, and as soon as a rogue, as soon as a Stiltwalker, because they're not rogues anymore, and I'm going to leave out Diamondback. Did you autocorrect that for me? Stiller is brought below half of their hit points. Okay. There. This way, he or she attempts to flee into the crowd. If cornered, a badly wounded villain surrenders. Yeah. And I'm going to add in on page 33. Ads sometimes were removed from these, so yeah, that is 33. Okay, page 33. Oh my god, all the I keep moving around the tabs to further confuse myself. I don't know why I do that. I do know why I do that. Just I don't know. First column, after first day. First column, first paragraph. Add the following sentence. Not ask the following sentence. Add the following sentence. Diamondback only attempts to flee once brought below 10 hit points. Otherwise, okay, or all of her Stiltwalkers are defeated or leave the fight. Otherwise, she continues her all-out assault. Ta-da! There. I don't like that Stiltwalker it keeps saying grammatically that's wrong. I think it may. I think I need to put like a hyphen in there, but I don't care. I've committed to this, as has the original. All right, I'm committing to the bad grammatical mistake. Development. Oh god. All right. Very frustrating. Takes City Watch a few minutes to respond to the attack. Like giving the PCs plenty of time to become scarce. Cool. That's fine. Don't change that. Even if they remain at the scene of the fight. All we need to do here is say 10 minutes. We probably don't. Okay, this is silly. I want you to think about this in 3.5 terms. All right, we beat up these guys in the center of the festival. So I think like a lawful good party, or even a neutral good party, would be like, we should probably report this to the authorities. They're on their way. We should clear our names before anything goes wrong. Okay? The guards arrive, and you go, okay, cool. Warrior DC, talk your way out of this. Nat 1, -1, 0. What now happens? What now happens? There is no anything that happens on a failure. It's just like, yeah, DC 10 diplomacy check. Everybody should nail that. It's a DC 10. Somebody in the party is going to have is going to roll higher than a 10. But what if they don't? Like, okay. There is something that is like cleaving so strongly to the source material. It can be very hazardous to conversion. Absolutely. What's funny is I know there are all these people that are doing conversions. It's not that I disagree with them. It's that their base understanding of game design comes at it from a different angle than mine, I suppose. In that sometimes just rolling dice is fun. And I get that. I like just rolling dice. But if I roll dice and there's no reason for it, it feels odd. Like, even you succeed here and the player's just like, and you can go. So, what if I just get rid of this? Like, okay. A captured rogue or diamondback readily gives up the identity of them. Legal action, yeah. That's fine. And that's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Because we don't need this at all. Sure, I could use this for the timing of like getting to the manor, but after a fight, players are going to have to choose whether or not they're going to stay and bandage up their wounds anyway, or refocus anyhow. I'm entirely fine with omitting it, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy paste. All right. And I think that's a fair justification. First column, second paragraph. Remove the following entire. I'm just going to say entirely. I don't want anyone to like be ambiguous or I'm like, remove what? That's it? Look at that. Okay. Member of witness. Oh, gotta clean all this up. Whoops. The fight. Normally, I actually just type this all out, but I thought that was less interesting on stream. Especially since I usually, when I type this out, I don't have that one tiny screen in front of me. Which, look at this. Cleaning up is the least exciting thing to stream, but I'm doing it. Just, this is gone. I'm gonna put a little note here for myself and for others reading this. This entire waiting around for the guards serves no purpose, even within the original module. No need to roll dice just to roll dice, and maintain verisimilitude. That word rolls up, that word rolls up. That word rears its ugly head again. Okay? You could handle that with all role-playing. Players are bandaging themselves up. The GM's like, all right, yeah, some guards show up there, and, they say, oh, what the hell happened here? Yeah, these guys threw knives at us. Do you have any evidence? Yeah, there's a knife in Jerry the Wizard. Oh, well, shit, thanks for doing that. This is Sasserine. Rules barely matter here anyway. That's it. Done. All right, then I do believe we are on to... I want to make sure. The fun stuff, which is to say, part 4, Frogs in the Manor. I think that's the exact name. Part 4, Frogs in the House. Ah, such a shame. If there was anyone that tuned in and they're like, boy, I hope he really does Adventure 3 today. First off, I'm wondering about your priorities. And secondly, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I do actually feel bad because I wanted to do 3. And 3 has a lot of really fun stuff going for it. Oops. All right. Blah, 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 blah. Gave her first mate. He recruited members of Trub Glorp. As we know, Drevaraz was able to secure the aid of the entire tribe. Blah, 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 blah. This is all the talking about the Jade Ravens getting their ass kicked. Bullywugs defeated them, capturing most and sending one of the Ravens in desperate hiding. Got it. We don't have to add it. Oh, when encountered a true Glorp hunter has already taken 1d6 points of damage. More needless bookkeeping for the GM. I remember running this, but I don't remember actually doing the 1d6 points of damage to the true Glorps. Or Trub Glorps, sorry. I think that's... note that these Bullywugs were taken and wrestled. No. I'm just... That's just such a small point to wrestle over. Their hit points at this point, look at this, were 12. So this could be quite significant. Taking away up to half of their hit points dramatically changes the challenge. Admittedly, though, I mean, like, look at the bizarre challenge. Our characters are level 4 here, right? I do believe they're expected to be level 4 here. And we've got CR1 creatures with 17 armor class. How much do I remember? Level 4. I mean, our fighter is going to be hitting that, probably hitting at a +9, I think, at level 4 if you're a... okay, well, let's say a fighter, full base attack bonus, progression. Hey, 3.5 rolls coming in. You got a +4 to hit. Let's say they've at least got a +4 from their strength. And they should have a +1 weapon by now. There's a +9. Likely, they've gotten something like a belt of strength. There's a, +10 to hit. They're going to be hitting these things. And if they're hitting, they're killing. Because they're going to be doing between 6 and 18 damage, depending on their weapon. And if I knew fighters back then, you know, like, fucking... all of this stuff was silly. The math really did not matter in 3.5. Like, it was there because you have to have a game to the storytelling. No. Again, we're just going to remove this. It's a 3.5 holdover, and it's unnecessary, and it's not... it doesn't actually add anything to the game. I don't know. Maybe I'm sure there's somebody, and there's definitely an argument to be made. Like, Azzur, this would make a lot more sense. Like, if they took some damage. Yeah, but they also have a cleric. I mean, that's also going back to, I was talking about, why am I getting rid of spells cast per day? I mean, it makes sense, verisimilitude. But is it fun? Is it interesting for the player's side? Like, they don't care. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a young man yelling at old men. Maybe that's where I'm at. All right. 1, 2, second. All right. Second column, second paragraph. This is anal retentive. Second column. Second paragraph. Remove the following entirely. Cool. And now we gotta make this all clean. Hate this part. So how's everybody doing? Anybody up to some fun summer shenanigans? I know that for myself, my wife and I were taking my son to the fireworks this weekend. And if you haven't gone to a Japanese summer festival, you really should. Wait a minute. Oh, I copy-pasted the wrong thing. But because it's the same exact... Foolish me. What's worse is somebody, I'm sure, would like notice that. It was like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Azzur? What are you doing? No. Here we go. Yeah, if you haven't been to a Japanese festival, oh my god, especially the summer ones, they're great. I'm sure if you've seen... yeah, I'm not changing that. If you've seen any sort of like Japanese media, they tend to like show off the festivals because they're super fun. A lot of food, a lot of great food, like takoyaki, which is octopus balls, which is much better than it sounds. Yakisoba, which is fried soba, but it's like covered in soy sauce and all these delicious yummy foods, and pickled ginger over there, and some mayonnaise if you're lucky. Okonomiyaki, which we've talked about before, tasty. And of course fireworks and and games and stuff, but I just go for the food because I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm too old for games, but it's just I don't care. And I've seen fireworks. Admittedly, they are cool. It's just gonna be hot as hell, but it's fun. I got my kids, so all right. Here's a question. Coming up next are the True Glorp's Hunters. And what I'd rather do is this is the first adventure where I want to make just like an NPC bestiary at the end of the book, only filling in spot because we've got the savage creatures that kind of come up a few times. We've got the bullywugs that come up a few times. So I think we're doing a lot of remove in this cleanup, but it's part of it. So I think I'm just going to remove this, and we're just going to put the stats at the very end. That's not what I did with this, though. It's not what I did with Savage Pirates. Yeah. Oh, there's one thing I want to read then, actually. Hi, Stiltwalkers. Okay. It might even say below. No. You know what? I'm just gonna remove it. Let me look. Here, let me clean up my stuff. Savage Tide. No. Lord, cheap Lord. Boggart Hunters. Yes. Here we go. I'm going to just put him in. Put the stat blocks in. Just like before. And we'll just refer back to them later like we did before. Were I ever to? That's past tense. If I'm to ever, my plans, should I, there we go. Should I eventually compile this into like a nice clean PDF? Yeah, I mean, I might make the bestiary thing. I'm not too worried about it now. Boggart Hunter, while I'm here, I'm going to get the next Boggart. Oops, wait. Oh, okay. Sorry, cleaning up this, I feel like I've got more Boggarts. Hold on. We made another Boggart, didn't we? Alright, let's take a look. Boggart Hunter. Uh-oh. Wait a minute, did we not? We've got the oh, we didn't. We were using the basic Boggart the Boggarts that exist. These Boggarts. Creature family Boggarts. Yeah, we're using the scouts and the warriors and the swamp seers. So yeah, let's just replace. Okay. There is another small thing, and it's a very silly one. I think. Whoa, I'm looking at the wrong stuff. I want to mentally. I want to call these bullywugs. It is, Oerth. It is Ravenloft, Greyhawk as a setting. They are bullywugs, but throughout the conversion process, I've referred to them as boggards. I mean, that just up for the GM at this point. Like, if you are getting a conversion from a dude that just streams this stuff on Twitch, and like you went out of your way to get this conversion, you already kind of have an idea that you're going to change things around. So yeah, they're bullywugs. They're bullywugs, but do whatever you want. Glorb Hunter with the following stat block. Ooh, it is 1. I'm getting hungry. And despite eating a singular donut on stream. Trubglorp, not Trubglorb. No. Technically none of it works now. Okay. And let's get out that big stat block. Whoops. That we had. This is a big one. Yeah, I still like this. This is fun. I forget the guy that brought it up, but thank you for the YouTube commenter that was like, yep, you could do this, just put hunt prey. And I had said something like, it gets messy for the GM if there's a bunch of hunters, and he's like, oh yeah, I entirely agree, was his comment, and I think that we're on the same page, in that he's like, yeah, you only really need like 1 or 2 in an encounter. You don't need to fill the encounter with like bunches of hunt prey. Whoa, don't want to hit that button. Speaking of, I was asked if I was going to bring this game to the play-by-post server, and I'd love to. I think. I've got I've got 2 APs that I'm running. Yes, got 2 APs that I'm running. One is a half AP, 11 to 20, the Fist of the Ruby Phoenix, which hopefully will finish up in my lifetime. I've been doing Strength of Thousands for like 2 years now, and we're halfway through book 2. We've had setbacks, but still, it's like they go slow. So the idea of doing like another 1 to 20 adventure path, even one that like I know intimately, is intense. Still, I would love to run this game. Just period. I think I'd like to run it at a table. And I think I'd like to run it at a table with a bunch of people that just love role-playing or love Greyhawk. And I don't, no offense to my players, know anybody in my personal life like that. Most of my players approach the game from a very mechanical standpoint. And they're like, well, actually, I just want to get to level 2 so I can do this, 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 and this. Which is a great way to play Pathfinder. It's just, as a GM, and I grab them, I drag them into the story, whether they want to or not, kicking and screaming. That's what I realize. I want this to be oozing with Greyhawk feel. And I'm not sure that, like, players that want to fight and kick in the door at every encounter is going to be, like, the best way to experience Savage Tide. So I think what I need to do is find a bunch of old hat, original D&D kind of guys out here living in Japan for some reason who have coincidentally matching schedules with mine, which is an insane schedule. And like the more I say it, the more I'm like, yeah, so maybe I'm just not going to be able to kind of play this in my ideal circumstances. So probably I'll bring it to the play-by-post server. Woo, that was a lot of talk to say. Yeah, maybe. For a second, I was like, do I have to convert this? And it's like, no. I looked this up, by the way, out of curiosity, on Board Game Geek to see if it was at all popular. And it looks like it was not well received. This was during the time, this was 2006? Yeah, 2007? This was just after the big boom of board games, which I think everybody says Catan started back in like late 90s. I really feel like it was apples to apples. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, sorry, small thing there. Did I talk about this alarm? Yeah, boggers should be full HP. Boom, nice. Boom, nice. Boom. Alarm being raised happens a group is not avoided notice following the expert and only on a... Yeah. Cool. I like this. Yeah. They posted no guards outside the manor. So as to not draw anything. Okay. Let's change this. Let's change this entirely. Entirely. I read the word entirely and then I said the word entirely. Isn't that funny? All right. Gotta sneeze. Gotta sneeze. Don't want to sneeze. I'm also thinking I should make these streams shorter. Mostly because I think if somebody sees a 4-hour long video on YouTube, they're like, I'm not going to click on that at all. All right. First column. Come on. Is it first paragraph, second paragraph? First paragraph. So I'm thinking, I could probably write more, but do I want to? All right. So we gotta put the put this into Pathfinder 2 verbiage, because this is all correct in a way. I'm still gonna refer to them as bullywugs throughout this. This is all still... Why some of these are odd. Like this all functions in Pathfinder 2. It's just you have to put in the right verbiage. Okay. Unless the PCs avoid notice or use follow the expert, use stealth with follow. That's still avoid notice. I don't need to really note that. There's a DC. They are noticed by the Bullywugs. I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this. Make a DC 5 flat check or be noticed by the... Because you got to put into the percentages are gone now in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. They still exist. It's just flat checks now. And then they function on 5% more than 1%. Unless PC make a DC 5 flat check. They are noticed through one of the manor's windows by a Bullywug, who then raises the alarm. Okay? A DC 5 flat check prevents this. I don't like this. This only occurs. Okay, here we go. Make a DC 5 flat check. On a failure, okay. Unless PCs avoid notice, make a DC 5 flat check. On a failure, they are noticed through one of the manor's windows by a Bullywug, who then raises the alarm. Okay? But, this... Okay, here we go. If the alarm... Okay, good. There, it says what the alarm actually does. There. They don't need to do that much more then. Let's just read through a little bit. You should provide the players with the map available. Yep. Good. I agree. Bullywugs lack dark vision or low light vision. They have dark vision. They have dark vision in 2nd edition, and so that's why it said just remove that text. Which to me makes it more interesting, and I know that everybody, like, this isn't just min-maxers. These are people at my tables showing up. And when I say my tables, I mean people that are like... Just everybody shows up and they're like, so I have this character and they have dark vision. I have this character and I got dark vision in this way. Or this is how I combat... Like, everybody has some way of getting around darkness, which is good. Usually, and the boring way to me, is dark vision. I like to be... As a spellcaster... I think some of you have played with my android, Honesty, who always makes sure to have a dancing light spell ready, because I like that more than light, even though it's technically less useful. I like dancing lights. Bullywugs lack dark vision or light. Okay. I mean, these are odd little... I feel like there's a part of me that wants to go like, the roofs are this tall, on average, and the walls are... I'm not too worried. We're just going to remove this again. Okay. I think there is something to be said, like, if a GM... No, I'm gonna remove it. And let GMs deal with it, honestly. I think that I'm not going to treat GMs like babies. At a certain point, like if your players say we're going to wait until night to attack, the GMs, okay, well now you're late and they know you're coming. They've prepared. Cool. You know, I think they would know to do that. Or if the GM's like, well, you know, they did a great job getting there, I'm going to waive it. That's fine. GMs. Remove the following entirely. Have I've been just messing up my own formatting all over the place. Bullywugs lack, yeah, we don't, dark, what the heck? So if the assault occurs at night, they've lit the manners numerous while under, good, cool. Okay, what else we got here? Final room descriptions are not aware of the PCs. Cool. Now, concrete proof that the Bullywugs have invaded Sassurin, the city watch. Yes, yes, yes. Fine. Note on treasure. I don't think I need to change anything there. Cool. Woo! Okay, I feel like we got all the hard stuff, for the most part, done. God. Oh. Honestly, it was real pain getting to this point. Let's go for another half hour. Give us 2 solid hours of converting. And look, we've cleaned up a decent amount. Let's see, like 2-3 pages. Just fine. I like that. I probably should have looked at this map for that, but here we go. Atrium. Let's check my notes. Not those notes. Wrong notes. Alarm being raised. Yes, we did that. We did that. Oh, make a falling chandelier hazard. Yeah, that could be fun. Let's do that. What are the Boggart Warriors? They're level 2. I want to check my Boggart Hunter. Level 2 as well? Cool. Cool. Yeah. I think I want to change this encounter around then. Ooh. Alright. I've already done this so many times. I got a few things to change now that I say this. Yeah, I'm just gonna borrow this and be lazy. Cool. Atrium. V1 Atrium. This is all the stuff you guys don't get to see on stream, where I'm just agonizing over the dumb things. 2. This becomes a what encounter? A low? It's a low 4. 3 Boggart Warriors. Cool. V1 Atrium. Low 4. Okay. I am interested. So here's the chandeliers. The 2 downstairs hunters stand directly under the chandelier. If the chandelier's rope is cut, its fall strikes the bullywugs for 2d6 points of damage. I like this. I want to keep this. I'm trying to think of how to change this. If writing like 3 Trubglorp warriors, or 2 Trubglorp warriors stand watch here, 2 on the ground floor, and then on the stairwell there's a hunter on the top. I mean, that's sort of how I want to write it. Because what I want to do is change this encounter to include the hunter that we made. Okay? Okay. Good. But now, what I'm going to do is go back actually a little bit and see the cleaned up here. And see how I wrote the creatures. So I want to keep that. Because I want to keep that formatting. Because I know there's some monsters that I just referred to the bestiary. Here we go. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Let's just copy paste. I got a lot to change here actually, so. Blah, blah. And I'm going to make this note here for myself for later. Okay. All right, so we've done this. Change creatures. Let's get it correct. 1, 2, 3. Third paragraph. Oh my God, second column. Third paragraph. Change 2. We're just changing the entire thing. Creatures. Changing the whole thing. All right. 2. If I call them warriors. Yeah, I'm gonna call them Trubglorp warriors. And then I'll say you'll see. Stand watch. On the ground floor between the stairwells. Okay. Ground floor between the stairwells. Above. Okay. Above, a Trubglorp hunter patrols the what's the exact wording? First floor landing. There. This is why I don't do this on stream. I realize flipping between these is very annoying. The 2 downstairs. I'm just gonna chandelier, and I'm going to note a few things here. Under the chandelier, which acts as a hazard for the unaware bullywugs. Ta-da! Okay. Ow! Okay. There. We've got the Trubglorp warriors. Oh, I called them boggart hunters. Technically, my brain went into the homebrew mode of like, Pathfinder 2e, I'm making a thing for the bestiary. Call it a boggart. It's from the boggart family. There is another thing where like boggart as a trait needs to exist for other boggards because they've got their croaks that don't affect creatures with the boggart trait. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. It's such a small deal. But let's real quick. Oh, did you log me out? Did you log me out, template tools? You absolutely did. No, you didn't. Great. Let's make a, since this is a simple, I'm going to just copy paste this and call it the falling chandelier. And we'll make it a hazard. We'll make it simple trap. And we're going to make it low level. Okay? 2. This hazard is not going to affect our players. It's just not. This feels very odd. Stealth plus 0, nothing. A heavy, what, golden chandelier? What are they? Glass chandelier. Ooh. Heavy glass chandelier. Oh my god, I don't know. Oh, I spelled it right up there, didn't I? Hangs upon a an easily cut, hangs from the ceiling upon an easily cut rope. There. So, the way this should work, players go in, they sneak in, the way this chandelier works. Okay, they see the chandelier, and you get that one player that's like, are they below the chandelier? And I know this is such a specific scenario, but I want to keep this because it's cool. I feel like normally I just excise this because it's so specific. Yeah. I'm keeping it. It's fun. It's fun. And yeah. I don't. Do I? Out of curiosity. Look at this. Revenge, revenge, revenge. All right. Yeah, I was just checking to make sure. I want to keep a period here. Boop. All right. I don't think that there should be a disable for it. First off, here's our smash. Trigger. The rope is the rope holding up the chandelier is destroyed. Okay. Your player takes aim with an arrow. Strikes through. This starts off the combat. Super cool. I like it. Effect. The chandelier comes crashing to the ground, dealing, and we're gonna make this piercing damage because it's glass. Oh, I think I went over this last time. I was like, oh, hazards are just here. Oh, I want building hazards. We want to look at the damage for a simple level 2. Simple damage for a level 2 is around 18. Which for our... Of course I did. Of course I used the Boggart Warrior for this. For our warriors down here... It's a good chunk of their life. We could go up. We could make it a level 3 hazard, I think. But I don't really want it to trivialize the fight, but I want to reward players for doing cool stuff. So, 2d10 plus 7. I know this is odd. Given the recent hubbub and talk around cantrips getting their flat damage removed with the remaster... And I know everyone's coming out of the woodwork to be like, well, mathematically, this is a nerf to spellcasters, and one that spellcasters don't deserve. You do anything to spellcasters in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and everybody that hates them comes out of the woodwork to just... Ugh. And even those that like them, like my good buddy Popjuke, is like, they don't deserve this. Mathematically, the numbers should be more in their favor. And it's like, we haven't seen everything yet. And I do agree that flat damage really isn't the realm of the spellcaster. Anyway, I don't like flat damage on traps and hazards. I'm not saying I hate it, but I want to see if we can get to that 18 without doing some flat damage. Make it a bit more of a wild variation. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. We don't really have any, like, D12s are kind of insane. 18 divided by 6. 6d6 damage? That's a weird spread. 6d6 damage. Hold on now. Let me, so that average is 3.5 times 6. We got 18, 21. Averaging 21 damage. Oh, chandeliers. Sorry, somebody said. So I heard that yesterday, and it's kind of stuck in my head. 66 damage. I'm curious. I don't know. I think I like that actually, because it could be a minuscule amount of damage. It could be 36 and nearly take out these Boggart warriors. Likely not going to happen, but I like that. I'm gonna go with 66. Sorry, it's dealing 6d6. Piercing damage to all creatures in a... Let's look at the map. Let's check the map. Great. Useless. Useless. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Look at this. Here's the area where it should be happening. And it's just GM Theater of the Mind, where it is. Ah, okay. Because this is kind of specific. In a 5-foot burst beneath it. Like, without it being there on the map, it's kind of rough. Alright. I'm gonna write 5 foot in a 5-foot burst beneath it. Okay? So what that would be, just to look at this again, it would be, let's say the chandelier is here. Then it goes, it gets these 4 squares. Okay? GMs have to be a little bit nice on this one. And they would have to be nice in 3.5 as well, again with less lack of direction. I'm okay with this. It's not as tight as I would like it to be. Let's lower, I wonder if I can get away with this rope. This is not going to help me. Item hardness. Item damage. Here we go. Some of these, we do have some of these. I don't want to get out the book for this. We're going to make it easy. We're going to make it very easy. HP 5. 2. No hardness. Nothing of that nature. Armor class. Let's see. Level 2. Low armor class, 15. We want them to hit this thing. We want them to hit this thing. I gotta listen to that. Oh, chandeliers. I don't even know what the song's called. I feel like a fool. I'm reflex save, and I have not had anybody target hazards with spells, so I find that curious to me. Let's give it an 11 and a 5. Let's give it an 11 and a 5. Make this the 11. Make this the 5. Okay, I imagine trying to make a reflex save against this swinging chandelier. Okay. This is an interesting hazard in that it's not really a hazard. Why do I keep spelling chandelier? Well, it's not exactly the easiest word, I imagine, but still. The chandelier can be by a nearby winch, which takes 3 non-consecutive actions. However, destroying the rope, holding it up by striking the hazard and reducing the rope's its HP to 0 instead triggers the trap. Okay. So this is a very non-normal, non-standard hazard. This is not really a hazard. It's something you can spring on the opponents. But it does also allow the GM to get some fun in. If the players aren't really paying attention, they don't deal with the falling chandelier at all, it could come back to bite them later if they just happen to be under there and, hey, it's the hunter's turn, and throws an axe, cuts the rope, falls on the players, 66 piercing damage. Oh my god. Yeah, cool. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So, yeah. Let me just make this bigger. Print screen. Boom. Oh, no. No, it's too small. There we go. Throw it into my big, giant layer of things. Chandeliers. Ah! I have students now from all walks of life. And one of them is in a ukulele band. And which I didn't know was a thing. And I was like, so in a ukulele band, what is that? She said, everybody plays ukulele. And then she played Chandeliers for me. Which might be its name, it might not be. Falling Chandelier. And Chandelier and Chandeliers sound the same in my head. There we go. That's my whole explanation for it. It means I am not a bright man. Okay. Got the falling chandelier. Okay. Okay. Alright. After. Let me make sure. Second column, third paragraph. Oops. I also got to meet, I met a Japanese fellow whose interests were board games and tabletop role-playing games, which is interesting because tabletop role-playing games are super not popular in Japan. And he went to the one hobby shop that is in the town, and he's if you go there, you'll see Dungeons and Dragons, the beginner box, the Mines of Phandelver, and then a bunch of kind of anime role-playing games. And I say anime role-playing games, without a doubt, rules light, very, very, like, fluffy, so to speak. And the big one there that takes up a lot of the shelf space, Call of Cthulhu. Really wildly popular, which is hilarious to me because I just know for a fact that H.P. Lovecraft would not be thrilled knowing that his works were super popular in Japan. Anyway, I was talking with him and I was explaining Delta Green, and he was like, that sounds like the exact thing I'm into. And I showed him Pathfinder. He was like, I'm not all interested in that. Because fantasy has a very different connotation when we have a very Eurocentric fantasy kind of stuff in Pathfinder. And that's just, like, not popular in Japan. Like, yeah, we've got the occasional where it's like, oh yeah, sorcerers and wizards and witches, and but we had I shouldn't say it's not popular. It is, but like in a video game sense, like it's very video gamey, their approach to it. I don't know. Like we've got Demon Souls, we've got Dark Souls. I don't know. There's a disconnect. I don't know. I don't think I'm the right person for this, but it's very interesting to me. All right, let's how do I want to write this? All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna write this, and I'm gonna cut the stream, I imagine, and then I can maybe clean up the rest of this before we do the next stream. Next Thursday. I'll talk about next Thursday later. After second column, third paragraph. Oh yeah. Add the following. Okay. I gotta stop typing as the following. That's never happened to me before. I've done it twice today. Alright, we're gonna put in Trubglorp Warriors 2. Level 2. They are Boggart Warrior. And they... Oh, come on now. They're in page 44. Best 44. Okay, initiative is +8. Cool. Okay, and then we're going to do our nice other one. Shrubglorp. Hunter. There we go. Boggard. Hunter. Okay. And I'll just put like a real jerk, a self-referential jerk. See above. Ta-da. Page 11. Or perception 11. Alright, one more thing. After... Here's the thing, I don't want to get it too confusing, because it's going to get confusing. I don't know, let's see. After... after second column, fourth paragraph, like... I don't know how to kind of like phrase that out correctly. I want it to be after the tactics, before the development, but maybe not. Maybe I want it after the after the second column, third paragraph. Third paragraph. Oops. Creatures include the following hazard. Yeah. And then we're just going to put the hazard in. There it is. Insert. Upload. Do-do-do-do. Falling chandelier. Okay. That feels fun. That feels fun. Okay. Having time to ambush and move through the atrium. These guys have awful stealth, don't they? Not great. No. Not great, Bob. No. I kind of want to just add like a becoming hidden. I don't know. Using stealth with a +2 circumstance. No, you're hiding. No. Hold on now. Using cover. Absolutely. Gaining a +2 circumstance bonus to stealth. Right? These are circumstance, yeah? Yeah. Cool. Using stealth for initiative. Okay. Alright, easy. Using... Moves through the atrium. After 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. This is the problem I've made for myself with this formatting, where I'm like, second column, third paragraph. Oh boy. I'm going to just kind of try and make it as helpful as possible. Second paragraph, development. Add the following sentence. That's what we want. Who moves through the atrium. This allows them to use stealth for initiative with a +2 circumstance bonus for the cover. For the cover. From the cover. Okay, so what it does is potentially allows them to start the fight off hidden. Which for the Boggart Warriors really doesn't do much. Hurl a javelin. You know, that could be interesting. Alright. I think that's going to be it for the stream today. It's a quickie. It was a 2-hour stream. I am tired though. And also, like I said, I'm going to try and keep these streams shorter. Not to, like, draw out this process of converting. Mostly because I've got the converting, and now I'm doing the adventure design on like every other week. I don't think the adventure design is very popular, to be very honest. But I would like to wrap that up so we have a product at the end. And yeah, this is much more fun for me. No offense to the adventure, which I am enjoying, but I like talking about the differences between 3.5 and Pathfinder Second Edition and why choices were made and why we make different choices now. So what I'm going to do is looking at my schedule. Yeah. Yeah. Soon my wife is going to be getting ready to head off to the hospital where she's going to be staying before they get her ready for her surgery, because C-section. I will try and do... I'm going to try and wrap up the adventure design, level 0 adventure design, and do one stream of that next week, and then we'll just probably stick converting. We'll see. I think people are enjoying the conversion more. At least I'm enjoying it, and I like having a product at the end that I can just be like, enjoy! Well, the level 0 adventure is like, you can enjoy if you want, and then just do the rest on your own. We'll see. Anyway, this has been fun. I will hopefully see you all later. And if anybody out there in YouTube space wants to get a play-by-post Pathfinder 2nd Edition game, Starfinder game, I don't do them. We've got Alien running, Delta Green, Blades in the Dark, which is rad, or literally any role-playing game apparently. Probably not Dread. That one uses a different... That's going to use some... If it's not a manual dexterity role-playing game, we will probably try and provide it on the server. So, all right, everybody. Thank you very much, and I will see you all later. Goodbye!